Hi and welcome to the Art of Tarot. My name is Stephanie and this is a reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars for June 2021. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in, subscribing, liking, commenting. And yeah, I'm happy to be back. I haven't done readings in a little bit, so I'm back now with the June readings for all signs. We have a lot of stuff going on in June, and coming out of March we have a Mercury retrograde in Gemini. We do have the eclipse season, so it's a new moon and full moon eclipses, solar and lunar eclipses in Gemini and in Sagittarius. End of March we already have one full moon in Sagittarius and then new moon in Gemini on the 10th, and that often brings really intense realizations, changes, shifts that have been working up to that point. So it's often, we often see it coming, we often even are longing for the change to come, but for some reason it did not manifest just yet. And it's interesting that these eclipses are happening during Mercury retrograde. That's a whole other dynamic, because in a way we are still forced to look inward, to be more introspective while there is already change happening. So it's those layers, I feel like in the last 2 years, I want to say, kind of got interesting with time and forward movement and direction. So there's a lot of different layers to that, where on one hand things seem to be moving forward and really changing and shifting. On the other hand, we're still, our inner selves are still processing very much, and our brains maybe, and that's all happening at the same time. So yeah, it's definitely intense. But you know, we'll work through it. And in your reading I also see that there's a couple of things going on that might be a little bit of a challenge, especially when it comes to relationships. So let's get started. We have channel energies up here, and then I look into a love situation. Also check out my German channel if you wanna see my readings in German. All right, so we have the Magician, Four of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, 10 of Cups as a general energy. So you're coming out of the Magician and the Four of Swords. They wanted to come out in a pair. I feel like very much you're coming out of some sort of warrior manifesting situation. So you're trying to manifest, you're really doing, you're making things happen, you're stepping in to your power, you're making, you're doing it, you know, you're trying to bring things into the reality of your life. You feel like you're able. At the same time, I think it always feels like it's very exhausting and you need a lot of downtime and a lot of rest. So I get a lot of stop and go energy from this, but more like you kind of have the energy within yourself, but mentally sometimes you feel like you don't have the capacity because you are processing all the things that are happening. And for some reason, and maybe it takes also a toll on your body, where you're like, oh wow, I feel this on a health level, I need to lie down, I know it's just too much for my body. And fire signs often have that, you know, they're just like moving forward, and then sometimes they overlook how they actually just need to rest. So I think you might interpret this, or it might also look like things are not moving in a way with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I get a really strong sense of this unfairness feeling in this reading. Like you're trying to manifest, you're exhausted, things are not opening up, things are not moving, things are not switching, you're trying again, things are not switching. And you know on this other side where you want to get to, and you kind of just cannot get to this 10 of Cups. and you see it on the horizon. You see, like, you're like, this is where I want to go to. I can already see it. I can already, you know, I can envision it. I can dream it up, or I can even see a clear picture of it, but it seems like it's hard to get there. The Ten of Cups, of course, is like a picture of emotional fulfillment, being emotionally fulfilled within yourself, and therefore also being able to share those emotions with your loved ones, with your close ones. If that's a family situation or not, that doesn't matter. You know, it can be chosen family, it can be your tribe, but it is mostly about sharing emotion fully and living a fulfilled life when it comes to your well-being. It's there, you know, it is there at the end of June. So I feel like it has a lot to do with the Mercury direct situation. It's going direct on the 22nd, and Venus is also coming in your sign on the 27th. At the same time, Neptune is going to go retrograde in Pisces, highlighting again what are your dreams for feeling emotionally well, and that will become much more prominent here by the end of the month. But yeah, it seems like a little bit of a battle to get there, and you might feel like the universe is working against you. Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fortune never works against you, you know, it's the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is actually very much working for you by giving you resistance, by showing you you have not unlocked the right, you know, combination. There is still things to figure out before we can open up that new cycle for you. So keep on moving and keep on resting and keep on moving and keep on resting and find that balance. And that's, I think that it seems like a little bit of that lesson to stay in that momentum still, even though you understand you have to give yourself rest. I think that's a little bit of the lesson here. And I think that's more like a personal thing of what do I want to manifest, what do I want to bring into my reality. When it comes to situations that are about love and relationships, this gets even a little more complicated, to be honest. Let's not forget, we have the Ten of Cups here by the end of the month, so this is where you were heading to. It's all good, you know, but the way there is a little rocky. Five of Swords and Six of Wands in reverse. That's very interesting energy. I get a little bit of mopey. Not mopey is the wrong word. I get a little bit of a petty energy, to be honest, you know, from the Leo side. So it's just really uncomfortable. It's really like a little bit like being pissed about not getting something while the other person is really working on their healing and being balanced and being like concerned about how to figure out the right combination of things to make their situation good or this situation good, to be patient, to be balanced, to be grown, to be also emotionally grown about this. And it seems like you're going a little bit in a ego moment here, bruised ego moment here with the Six of Wands in reverse. Ooh, Leo, careful that you're not like, well, what is wrong with this person? I'm much better than they should treat me like, you know, how come they're doing this and that because I'm much better than that. No, you're not. Newsflash, nobody's better than anybody, and you might have standards and you want to be treated a certain way, but that doesn't mean you're better than anybody. Sorry to break it to you. I know that was harsh, but somebody had to say it, Leo. Because it's also actually really harsh to think that somebody's supposed to treat you in a specific way because you say so. You know, that's also not right. you can have those standards, but that doesn't mean anybody needs to fulfill them. And I feel like this is not about standards. It's about, you want to see a certain change, and you want to see, I think, faster change, and you want to see more movement, and it's just not happening. And I feel like you're blaming this other person, or not blaming. I feel like it's really not so much about the other person, because this other person is really trying to do things the right way and find a balance and find a good combination of how to bring things together also emotionally, and to stay calm and to stay collected. And somehow I feel like that triggers you. Maybe you don't believe it, maybe you're projecting your own wounds, you know, because sometimes when we suffer and somebody else also suffers and then is healing, then that can be quite triggering, you know, because then it's like, well, but I suffer too, and what is, you know, there's something going on that makes you upset, I think. It really gets you in a defensive mode, and them doing something really productive with themselves and seemingly positive makes you upset, and that's weird. That's weird, dude. I don't know what's going on. There is a lack of understanding for each other, I think, and this person is maybe very concerned about their well-being right now, and they're not so much about yours. Maybe that's, you know, a thing, and maybe not giving you so much attention, or the attention that you need, and you get all yeah, I don't like this, Leo. 5 of Swords and 6 of Wands in reverse. That's not a good look on you, you know. You're too pretty for that. You're too popular and pretty for being, you know, you don't have to act like that. I don't know why I'm so harsh on Leo. I'm sorry. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be an asshole here, but it just seems like, I don't know what happened, but there's no indication that this person did anything truly bad to you that is malintention towards you, you know. I don't know, maybe I cannot see everything, but it just seems like they're very balanced and trying to work on their stability and healing right now with the Temperance card. Maybe you're dealing with a Sagittarius. I see that very strongly. They can be non-committal. That could be the case, you know, but that doesn't mean they don't. That doesn't just because a person is a little non-committal or very independent or freedom-oriented doesn't mean, that doesn't define your worth. That has nothing to do with you. That's not about you. It's about that person being like that, you know. It's about that person being like that. They will be like that with every other person. They will not, you know, it's not you. You are not the person that's supposed to change them. I mean, you can try. Good luck. It's going to be annoying and exhausting, and you're going to waste your time. I don't know what's going on here. It's strange. Well, Death card in reverse here as well. So I think there's not really, during this Mercury retrograde and during June, I don't think there's going to be this deep transformation, that the real issue is going to be approached, and there might be sudden changes, but I don't think it's something, it's a long-lasting solution to this problem. If this is, and I think this is an existing bond, this needs much more deeper work. And they are doing the deep work on their side. So I don't know, maybe you're late to the party, or maybe you're trying and you're exhausted and they don't see that, or whatever. But it's okay, you know, it's not about, it's slow and steady wins the race in this case. It's just feel all the feelings, allow yourself to feel all those feelings. You can be upset, you know, it's okay, but just don't try not to make the mistake to give this other person so much power over your whole well-being, because that's what it is, you know. It's like, it seems like their behavior is triggering something in you. that probably has nothing to do with them, you know, honestly. And intuitively, you know, now it's really important to listen to your intuition and feel those trigger points. I think it's a lot about trigger points here. I mean, the swords for me, especially if you're stuck in something, they are always a little bit of trigger point material for me. So feel that, you know, or pay attention to that. The feeling, I know it's uncomfortable, but pay attention to where things start maybe going off, or where you feel like I'm retreating. I don't want to talk to this person anymore because you know, this. I'm not judging. I'm just trying to describe the behavior that I see here, because something something is happening within you. This person is not, I don't think their intention is to hurt you. I just think they might not understand that they're hurting you by certain behavior, because you might want to look closer at what you might not even understand what exactly happened, you know. So you know what I mean. Pay really attention to your first feeling when it comes to moments where you feel like, oh, this is uncomfortable, or this is weird, or this makes me want to defend myself. Because I see a lot of defensive energy. Fulfillment. This person, I think, really wants to offer you something stable and secure, and they're in the process of getting there, period. I have a feeling that you, in general, have a little bit of a, you know, you're stuck in a thing that it has to do with your own journey right now, and therefore you don't see change, and it's frustrating that change is not happening fast enough, and therefore I feel like you're upset. Two of Cups. Two of Pentacles in reverse. It seems like the change is not happening fast enough, or you're not seeing the results. Interestingly enough, what came out from the love and relationship affirmators, perspective. It really is about perspective, I think. You're maybe here a little stuck in your own situation, and maybe that might be just influencing the whole relationship side of things. So perspective. What does a hawk see when it flies over your house, besides the family of mice living nearby that you don't know about? What will your current problems, conflicts, complaints look like when you're 80 years old and you gaze back on the timeline of your life? In this moment, you're being given the gift of clear perspective, of knowing that in the end everything is going to be probably much better than okay. Think large enough and even big issues become small. Become an 80-year-old hawk and you're really onto something. Yeah, and this is bigger picture again. You know, I feel like this person really is trying to see the bigger picture with you, and you're right now stuck in a detail. And I'm not saying details are bad, just right now I think it's time to really get yourself out of the details, more into the bigger picture, and I think you can really accomplish that by giving yourself enough rest to mentally incorporate your experiences. And then we have compassion. I choose compassion over criticism. Walking a mile in other people's shoes reminds me that they might be going through something tougher than I think. Like their shoes are too tight, or they are the kind of shoes that are too casual to be dressy and too dressy to be casual. Basically, I have no idea what they're dealing with privately, so I'll cut them some slack and be thankful for the shoes you've been dealt. And again, Sagittarius, I have a feeling there is a Sagittarius that is giving you a hard time right now, Leo. Or, you know, if you're a Sagittarius cross-watching, then a Leo might be giving you a hard time. Yes, perspective, perspective, perspective. I think it's really important to now see the bigger picture of where you want to go with this connection. And you know, Mercury retrograde can be really helpful to revisit maybe patterns that have been there in the past that you want to step out of. And with the Wheel of Fortune, this is a karmic situation where you feel like you're stuck in a cycle that does not change. So now is the time to maybe go on an investigation a little more about why, you know, why does it not change, and how can we step out of this? So good luck, Leo. End of the month looks great. You know, I think there can be quantum leap done by the middle of the month, and I think with Venus coming into your sign and with Mercury going direct, it will feel much more comfortable. All right, so I'll talk to you next month. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe, like, comment, and have a great June. Bye.